Good morning, fabulous humans. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live, episode 480. We have another beautiful, nice round number. It's funny how this comes around every couple of weeks, isn't it? And then we have to celebrate it because it's amazing and it's fun and it's awesome and just, completely insane how fast time goes. It's just insane. So before we kick into our topic for today, which is all about personal branding, and it's something I'm really excited to talk to you about, something I talk about a lot. Good morning. Let me know that when you're on that you can hear me. Hey, Rebecca. Happy Wednesday, my friend. I don't know why my voice went higher. I don't know why it does that. I do that all the time. I think I said this to you guys the other day. When we're going for our walk, we'd be walking along. I'm like, morning. Like, why does my voice go so fucking high? It's really kind of hilarious. 480. I know, Rebecca. It's nuts. 480 whole episodes of the Coffee Run. We've had a lot of coffee together. So before I get into branding, personal branding, which is, what is it? Why do you need one? How do you build one? I wanted to remind you and let you know in case you've missed all of the memos and the slew of posts that are going up. If you've ever felt scared, worried, nervous, if you've worried about, or you've diagnosed yourself with imposter syndrome, I know I have in the past. If you've worried about self-judgment, if you've worried about anything or judgment from other people, tall poppy syndrome, worrying about how to stand out from the competition, you've got to be in Visible Live that is happening at the end of this month. We're running on the Friday and the Saturday. It's the 25th and the 26th of September. 2 whole days, which will set you up with a framework for you to basically annihilate your competition. There is no one else out there that will be able to market themselves in the way that you will. I promise you, it's actually not humanly possible because we're going to pull all of these ideas out of your head over that weekend and have you walking away with so much confidence, so much certainty, and a whole lot of clarity. So the link is in the comments there. If you're listening to the audio or somewhere where you can't see the comments, the link is www.nicolamoras.com.au/rockstar. So excited to welcome a bunch of you in. So now that very shameless promotion is out of the way, let us get into our serious talk for this morning. What I wanted to talk to you about is personal brand. So there's a lot of misconceptions. The way that I see this, there are a lot of misconceptions with branding, and a lot of people will think that branding is their logo. I know I used to think that. I remember when I first started this business, one of the very first things that I did I had a jewelry business, a jewelry importing business that I made myself, and I was wholesaling and retailing around the country. That's how I learned how to build websites, incidentally, and cut my teeth on Facebook and, learning how to use that for business. One of the things that I remember with that business was like the very first thing is like, shit, I need a logo. What am I going to do about my colors? And I better go build a website. Anyone else? Anyone else been in that band? That was like the first thing. And then even coming into this business, so this business, when I started this in 2010, so I went and did my style and branding training in 2010 to become a certified person to do this. Hello, Evie. And what was really funny was I was so scared. Well, it's not really funny. It's a valid concern, I guess. I was really scared, worried, nervous, whatever, about putting myself out there as me. I didn't want my business to be my name. I didn't really have a justification for it other than I was really worried that if it didn't work, then I'd save face. That was probably the reality of it. I was really thinking about doing it from that sort of a place. So I called my business, get this, try and say this 5 times fast, even without drinking, without any sort of physical inhibitor at all, stylish silhouettes. really, what a freaking mouthful, stylish silhouettes. And their little tagline was look and feel amazing from the inside out. And I really, I love the business name, the trading name. But what I did is like, when I came up with that, I'm like, right, first thing, I need a freaking logo. And so I went off and I had recommendations, and I've never been one for, back then I wasn't bothered about having a picture necessarily to represent it. I just wanted my name. So I had my name created in these really fancy letters. The stylish silhouettes created in fancy letters, and then I would use photos of silhouettes to demonstrate this the concept. So it was all about physical branding, right? And so I very much would go straight to, okay, I need the logo. What are the colors? I want to make it consistent. What are the fonts and blah, blah. Hey, Linda. And it's a really normal thing. But in the online world, your brand is not your logo, right? We are not Coca-Cola. We are not Nike. We are not Apple. We do not have multi-million-dollar budgets that we can spend on marketing and on billboards and fancy advertising and all of the fancy things to build brand awareness. What a logo does is it helps people. Like when I look at the dock on the bottom of my Mac, I've got like the Apple and then a TV. So like it says Apple TV, and then the podcast symbol. Like I know that that's the podcasting, but I see it over and over and over and over again. It's on my phone, it's on my computer, it's everywhere, it's in ads. You know, that's something like Apple Podcasts that they've invested in smartly creating icons that are easily identifiable. Chances are your logo is not going to be easily recognized or easily identifiable by the masses, because we just don't have the budgets to be shoving it in people's faces enough for them to be able to have your logo being synonymous with you, right? So that's from a logo perspective. So what we do have the ability though is to have a look at how we use our faces, how we use our own personalities, how we're able to establish a brand around ourselves like that. A logo doesn't talk. A logo doesn't have personality. Sorry for the graphic designers in the house. If you feel like they do, then that's awesome. You know, high five. I disagree. Respectfully, I disagree, which we're all allowed to do that, right? And still be friends. Like we're allowed to disagree and still be friends. But to me, a logo doesn't have personality. The thing that does have personality is you. So when I'm talking about branding and personal branding, I'm talking about the power of you being recognized for who you are. All right. So that's really what that is. And your personal brand, you know, if you've got I work with a lot of people who have got like a business or a practice. For instance, I work with a lot of allied health professionals, and they tend to have a business and a practice that does have a business name. That's great. Do that. If you've got something where you've got multiple people delivering multiple things, then maybe it's not really appropriate for that business to have your name on it. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's up to you. But from your own stuff, if you're building a personal brand, you want that to be around your name. So the very, very first thing that we need to let go of is, number one, the need for a logo, because this is your logo. Yay! I can hear you all say, yay! My face is going to be all over the internet and everybody's going to know exactly who I am. Yes, they are. And it is going to be fabulous because they will identify you with whatever it is that you're doing, which is really freaking awesome. You know, what I really want is I want my name, my face, the way I am to be synonymous with visibility, right? To be synonymous with getting you into the spotlight. That's really what I want. So if someone says, oh, blah, 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 visible, I want, oh, that's Nicola Moras. You know, you need to go talk to her. So that's one of the outcomes of building a personal brand. But I guess if we think about it from a marketing perspective and a positioning perspective, when you are your business, which most of my clients are, with most of them, if they've got a practice, that's awesome. They're also looking at creating a bit of a safety net around what they might do 5-10 years down the track. So by creating and building a personal brand around you, it actually also future-proofs whatever it is that you decide to do. Right? So whether you decide that you might want to step into consulting or speaking or coaching or training or do dog walking, I don't know, something completely different maybe to this other thing that you've got going on over here. It's still important for you to build a personal brand, even if you're not monetizing it yet. Still build that personal brand. So a personal brand to me is the thing that almost, it's your essence. Right? It's your personality, it's your magnetism, it's your charisma, it's your characteristics, it's, you beautifully harnessing your introvertedness and sharing that with people. It's you harnessing your extrovertedness and harnessing that and sharing that with people. It doesn't matter whether you're introverted, extroverted, university qualified, straight out of school, didn't finish school, doesn't matter. You have still got all of the, you're allowed to, and you have permission to completely build a powerful personal brand around you based on who you are, first and foremost. And your face is your logo. So if you're joining us in, your face is your logo. Yay! So that's that. The personal brand is the thing that connects people, that has people going, oh, wow. Right? I remember when I was doing a lot of personal branding work with people from a physicality perspective. So the way that I did a lot of this when I started was creating a physical personal brand. So that looked at the clothes that you wore, how you presented yourself, making sure that confidence came from the inside out. And that when you met people, you were always putting your best foot forward, whether it's in a job interview, whether it was on stage, whether it's on video. So what we want to do for people is kind of have them go, who's that? What's that? What are they saying? Like, I really need to know who this person is. That's the power of creating a really cool personal brand that has you rippled all through it using your personality. So that's what a personal brand is. It helps people to make a first impression, a strategic, quick, aligned first impression of you based on what you're putting out there. Now, I spoke a little while ago about the fact that first impressions in person can take the data shows, it can take 7 seconds to form a first impression. Online, we do not have that luxury. We have milliseconds. So you've literally got from someone going, oh, who's that? To like, then they're like, oh, shiny thing, like squirrel. Like, you've got no time. So the power of a personal brand can capture that attention. Right? It can capture and help you to come into their awareness so that they listen to you, they read what you have to say, or they absorb what it is that you're sharing. Why do you need one? Well, to me, if I think about personal branding, I think about personal branding being the strategic vehicle that you can utilize for putting yourself out there. Then why would you not need one? Right now, I think that it's almost like I talk a lot about your brand of awesomeness, right? And the world is ready for your brand of awesomeness. I had some mugs created with it. It's the thing in my book that I say, it's like, it's time to get out there. But I think one of the things that I think about is that this is the vehicle to capture attention and to help people. And that's really why you need one. Right? It's also the way, I guess, like the way that you will show up. So let me clarify that, because I think this is an important thing, an important point to make. When we get off this video today, I don't stay at this level of energy. I don't stay at this level of engagement with my phone or with my camera. I don't stay at this level of delivery. I kind of like, I come in and I'm like, right, how can I bring it today, right? This is like the things that go in my head. How can I bring it? How can I create an exceptional experience for you guys? That's part of my brand. Because if you can see that I'm going like really big and out there and you're not really big and out there, then you can kind of come up a little bit and maybe not piss off a whole bunch of people or whatever, right? If I go so much out there, then it makes it easy for you to see, well, if I just do a tenth of what Nick does or half of what Nick does, then, we're on the right path. And that's really part of why I deliver in the way that I deliver. And it's also part of me. I've always kind of performed. I've always liked to entertain. I used to put on dances at school. I'd put on performances for our customers at home, which were our visitors, but I called them customers. I'd put on dance performances and make everybody sit and watch and clap. And I know it's really shocking and you could never imagine it, but this is what I have done for years. Oh, you're welcome, Judith. Good morning. So lovely to see you. So with that, if we think about it, what happens then is like we put our best foot forward to the people. And then I have to, like, when we get off here, I'm like, whew, that was amazing. All right, what am I going to do now? And then I'll go and do the things that I'm doing. And then when I'm coaching, it's like, okay, I'm back, I'm present and I'm giving 110%. You get all of me. And then, I'll hop off and I'll do the thing. So this personal brand that we build around ourselves, it's important that people are seeing the different facets of you, but it's always like the best version of that facet. So this is why I post morning walk photos. It's why I've started posting more photos of my vegan food, because I was thinking about this morning. It's been such an interesting experience. And I love steak, for instance. I have not missed meat at all. Really, really curious. I miss snacking on like salt and vinegar chips and Allen's lollies, but that's a whole other live stream. So building all of these different facets in is important because it helps people to get to know you. It also helps people to see that you're not just one-sided, right? I'm not always up and shiny and all the things. There's other times as well that things are a little bit more sedate. So for you, how do you build one? I think that was the big thing I wanted to look at. What is a personal brand? Do you need one? And the answer is hell yes. It's actually not negotiable. And the third one is, how do you build one? Well, how you build a strong personal brand is really about you harnessing your own unique set of gifts and talents, your confidence, and then going, all right, great. This is who I am. Now, who's my audience? What do they need to see in me? Are you giving them someone who inspires them? And are you giving them someone that they can aspire to be like? Right? I think that's really important. Like in a world filled with you should do this, you shouldn't do this, people need something to kind of like work towards or someone to be inspired and motivated by. Because otherwise it can be really hard, even with all the tips, the tricks, the tools in your little toolkit that you've got going on there. Sometimes it's really fucking hard. I speak from personal experience. It can be hard to dig those out and use them for yourself. So I look to other people, and sometimes I look to the outside for that motivation and inspiration. And I know that your people will be looking for you to do the same thing. So it's really important that you know who they are, because then what it's time to do is start creating your messaging that helps them to see, oh, this is the person. They're not just a logo. They're not just bland and boring and the same as everybody else, selling the same shit that everybody else is selling. And they can really see you as being somebody who's real, who's different, who's vulnerable, who can empathize with them, who really gets it, who really gets them. And then that's where, like, if we think about the power of a personal brand, that's when they're like, oh my God, like this person is fucking amazing. I love them. I want to learn from them. How do I get in your world? What do we need to do here? And that's really when everything then starts to build momentum. Things start to snowball. You start getting more sales online. You start getting more success online. You start helping more people online, and your presence just builds up bigger and bigger, and you're able to do more of the things that you really needed to do or wanting to do. That's the stuff that creates freedom. That's the stuff that creates impact. And it all starts with a very humble and very powerful little old personal brand, which all starts with you realizing that your face is your logo. No more going to Fiverr saying, I need a logo, please. Your face is your logo. So here's your tasks for today. If you do not have a profile photo of yourself on your business page and your personal profile, go do that right now. Go and change the photo. And then I want you to decide for the next 30 days, as a complete act of 30 days of insane courage, what are you going to do to really cultivate this? To step up, to step out, to create something that's really powerful for you, that's really meaningful also for the community that you want to bring in. And let me know how you go. I'd love to hear it. All right. If you have any questions, please make sure you let me know. Of course, yes, this is exactly what we're going to be talking about in Visible Live at the end of the month, 25th, 26th. The link is nicolamoras.com.au/rockstar, or you can find it on my website, and it is also in the events on my business page. So, on that note, my friends, you need to get out there, go help some people, have a whole ton of fun doing it, and remember the world is ready for your brand of awesomeness. Have a great, fabulous, and awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow, if not before. Bye.